You know how they have those commercials on TV where, oh, this child doesn't have any shoes and they live in Guatemala. Well, it's like, if you've never had any shoes, then how do you know what it's like to not have shoes? But it's kind of like they didn't have a dad for too long. Like the youngest girl, I think she was 2 years old. It's kind of like, if you didn't have your dad, you don't know what it's like to not have a dad. When we were in Arizona this past year, my husband is older than I am. He has 2 grandsons, and they're the ages, kind of like the ages of when Jacques was incarcerated. He loved going to play ball with them. I mean, we went to the park, he was playing football with them. They played baseball. He would tell me, are we gonna go see the boys today? And I'm like, I don't want to see those kids. They drive me crazy. They're 2 little boys. They're like all over the place. Where's my skateboard? Where's the? But he was, and I feel that he was making up for lost time, and he missed that. He missed playing with his boys. When we first got to Arizona, he took a picture of every cactus. It's like, honey, they all look the same. After a while, a saguaro cactus, and he was just taking. It was just truly, I mean, just watching him in general, no matter where we were, it was just the appreciation for life. He was just amazed. He was just truly amazed. And we both were like, this is God's work. This is interesting. This is something that I picked up on. He went back to eating things that he was eating when he was a kid. So like, we would go to the store, he was getting now and laters and candy and all the stuff that he couldn't get in prison, but he was getting all, and it's like, you know how bad that stuff is for you? It's so bad for your teeth. Why are you eating that? He's eating Frosted Flakes, Lucky Charms, all the kids' cereal, but doesn't want to venture out and try new foods. When we first came out, he's like, oh, there's a pen, and he picked it up, and I'm like, the pen is like on the curb, like the car ran over it. It's like germs. He goes, oh, there's a pen. And then he would explain to me why. Because when they were in prison, all they could get, like if you had the old big pens, they take the inside out. So it was just the pen with the ink. You couldn't have the pen. It was just that little skinny straw with it. And he goes, and we would try to write with it, and just imagine trying to write with that. And towels, like paper towels. We would stop to use the bathroom like on a walk. Oh, and we went on a hike too, and that was amazing. He was floored by that because we're like way on top of this mountain looking down. But we stopped at one of the bathrooms, and he's got all these paper towels. I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, wow, you know how this is like, you know, gold. And I'm like, dude, you're not there anymore. There's plenty. The next bathroom's gonna have more. It also opened my eyes to the things that we take for granted.
When he was released, can you describe your emotions that day?
It was just a crazy, crazy day. I was just nonstop crying. Tears of joy, though. You know, our church prayed for him, and they prayed for him that day. I think it was a Tuesday that he was released. And it was ongoing prayer. We always prayed for him, and he was always on our prayer list. But when I got the message, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's Tuesday. Because every time my mom would call me and say, okay, we're going to court today, this might be the day. But that had been going on since like November of 2011 or 10, I want to say. So it had been going on. So then every time it was like getting a little bit closer and closer. And so my mom's like, it could be this day. It could be this day. And I was like, Mom, don't say anything until he walks out that door. And I'm the facilities manager at our church. So I have keys to the church. I went to church by myself, and I just bawled. I got on my knees, and it was an amazing day. You know, I just got on my knees at the altar, and I just cried because I couldn't believe it. Because it'd been 21 years. This whole little trial thing had been going on for 6 months, and I was just like, it's never going to happen, you know. And my prayer always for him was to not lose hope.